Freedom Sherpa, along with Mr. Anthony Skyrie. So I can't wait to introduce you, my dear friend, brother on this journey. We don't do this alone. None of us, and nothing meaningful was ever done alone. And so what we're going to do today is we're going to take a pause, a tactical reload. So I learned in my special operations shooting career that on that 31st click, I actually am holding a dead man's gun. Any asshole can send 30 rounds downrange from a magazine. And we actually would train a lot how to do the tactical reloads. Because if I don't reload, I'm going to die. Okay? That's what we're doing right now. We're going to take the next 25, 30 minutes or so. And I'm going to come off the line. I'm going to take a look at the scorecard. I'm going to take a look at like the inner stuff a lot of us try to avoid. And is my ladder, the ladder that I'm climbing, is it on the right wall? Right? Right. So I'm playing this game where I'm exchanging energy and time, and I'll eat the marshmallow later. Is my ladder on the right wall? Right. And is that wall or the mountain that I find myself on, is it going to yield joy and satisfaction, a life well lived? And what do you do if maybe you realize that you're fighting the wrong fight? How to do that tactical reset, an emergency procedure, if you will. And as men just come around the fire, and here's what we're finding. You want to go fast travel alone? That's not what we're doing, though, guys. Men, we're traveling far together, and these women do such a great job of coming together as a community. They're able to share and able to turn the ego down and ask for help. So one of the reasons we're live right now is if you have questions, you have concerns, whatever. And we're going to post all this stuff, too, on your favorite channels and those things. And this is Anthony's first live. So if you guys want to see this and want to come on the show, we'll love it. He gets a 3, 2, 1. Fuck yeah, of course, doing something new. And in the military, you owe me a case of beer for doing something new and cool for the first time. So welcome to Riverside, LinkedIn, YouTube. No Instagram yet, and I don't have 1,000 followers. And we're live on Facebook. So,
not yet.
Anthony, welcome. Yeah, not yet. Not yet.
Thank you, Brian. Yeah, no, it's great to be here and just fun to do this and continue the conversation that to me never ends. So it's as we sharpen the what's the saying there?
Sharpen the axe, man.
Sharpen the axe. Yeah.
Cool. So why is Anthony here? Like, first and foremost, just masks off. This is quite an honor. I remember doing this the first. I had nobody to show me how to do lives, and it's cool. And there's an age gap, obviously, between Anthony and I. Not a lot. Anthony's like a big brother, and Brunkle. You're like a Brunkle. Right?
Okay, I like that, Brunkle.
Brunkle Lawrence in Georgia. If you're listening, that's where that's from. And I'm super fantastic. That's how he is, because he said so. That's Uncle Lawrence, Brunkle Lawrence. And so, why is Anthony here? Well, Anthony's lived a life, a pirate and a poet. He didn't know it for a lot of his life. School was hard. Kind of refused to conform to the sitting in the chair, and that was billed as like confusion. I'm not getting it. You're not where I'm supposed to, and doing the shadow work of like, who am I really, right? And so you've had some great experiences in Alaska and ski adventurer, those types of things. He's a father. And puts a lot of care into making life better than he had it, right? There's some shadow in there with his dad and his mom.
Yeah.
And you forge yourself into a wonderful man who trains other men, primarily physical fitness, embodiment though. And you're gearing up in this consciousness, a coherence project.
Yeah.
Where as men we can align to what our true purpose is. And we're going to talk today also about authenticity in some ways. And I think you're a wonderful person to talk about this, having lived inauthentically and then very much going through the narrow gate, the pain chamber, wrestling often in our morning dojos with your shadow and integrating all of that, as Carl Jung says, the individuation. How do I be more Anthony Skyrie or Aslan in your case? And be more Jacum Noir, right? That's my soul's name. Who did I come here to be? And I really feel that like as a prayer I just felt an emotional swell, almost tears,
Mm.
and just acknowledging my true presence.
Mm.
And instead of like unfucking myself, the spiritual surgery.
Mm.
That's how my spiritual journey started, guys. Like I started to surgically cut out spiritually all the parts that I'm like unworthy, not good enough, not strong enough, not fast enough, like all of that shit, right? Husky kid, 7 years old, 105 pounds. I was the fat kid.
Mm.
And that was a shadow that I got to not jettison, but how do I love that too? So that's what we got today.
Yeah, how do I love all the parts of me? Because all of my past, it's part of me.
Right.
It doesn't define me, but it's part of me, and I can make room for it because it was useful at one point in my life, like as a young child who rocked himself to sleep for safety. There's a reason for that. I didn't know it at the time, but my body knew.
Yeah.
And as I zoom out, as I've gotten older, all these things that help me uh, become who I am today. But it's the saying of, don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. It's like taking rummaging, going through down in the basement and saying, okay, opening up those old trunks, going, okay, does this serve me anymore? That
Yeah.
doesn't, this story doesn't serve me anymore. I can put that off to the side. I don't need to carry that anymore.
Right. And what we're talking about is the programs that showed up. Right.
Yeah.
So Anthony and I talked yesterday when I was just a couple weeks old. Well, I was lighter 2 weeks later after I was born than when I was born.
Mm.
And, fault of my parents, like, I'm the first test pilot of my family, lab rat number one. They didn't know any better. It's the best they know how. But it activated my superpowers, my ability to, I'm a super empath. And so I can feel other people's energy, their frequency. I know when there's turbulence in the room.
Mm.
And I was trying to get my needs met. I wasn't being fed as often as I needed to. And it was funny then, now, not so much now, then for me. Hey, John, are you feeding him like I told you to? Because he's lighter. Yeah, every 4 hours, like you said. He's like, that's not what I told you. I said at least every 4 hours. It turns out adverbs are important in infant first baby stuff.
Yeah.
So crying Brian, right? That was the first thing that I had to integrate.
Mm.
It didn't fail me. I couldn't meet my needs. And the story that I wrote as a young child was like, Roger that. This is my language from being a lieutenant. Roger that, sir. I'm what's wrong here. I'll fix it.
Mm.
And it's empowering, at 2 years old, or like, it's my fault. I got it. Without any means at all. Like, it's Mission Impossible. It was first Mission Impossible.
Yeah. And in this question, we talk about as unpacking all that of like, what is my authentic self? What does that mean to be authentic? Because, and as we're talking about this, it's like,
why does it matter? Why does authenticity
matter? Why does it matter? Because I can put away all the masks that I've been playing in my life, this projection of me, this character.
Yeah.
Because I wanted to hide. I was terrified of being exposed of someone who didn't have the answers, who didn't have things figured out, who was afraid, scared.
Yeah.
All those things. Because as a man or just as a person, it's like, so I have to put up all these different masks to protect myself as I go through this world now, especially as a young man, an adult, and all the roles that are prescribed, assigned to us. And this, as we say, this mission, seemingly like a Mission Impossible task of who am I?
Yeah.
And so it's the more I can be honest with who I truly am without all the masks. Now, I have to discern because in certain situations in business, I can't share. I don't want to share too much because that might not be appropriate in that context. So go ahead, Brian. Yeah. Well,
yeah. I just, so, what's the benefit from doing this work in that? So for me, I was expending an exorbitant amount of energy being this wonderful chameleon. I'm whoever you want me to be. So I got to remember who you needed me to be, and I could be that. And so I spent a lot of time, invested, 6 figures in personal development easily. I read 1,000 books since I left the Navy, many of which multiple times, retreats, plant medicine. It was under the next rock, right? And I was trying to perfect, I was trying to be this character.
Yeah.
And it's unwinnable, right? Like it produces anxiety. Jim Carrey talks about this in a great way. Like if you have anxiety or depression, your body is rejecting the character that you've chosen for us, right?
Yeah.
And all I have to do is be myself. And so maybe we can take that. Let's take exit 7A on the Turnpike in New Jersey. That's where I grew up. And let's talk about the difference between like Tony Robbins and Charles Bukowski. This highlights this almost perfectly, I think.
Sure. Or, and again, the energy I expended in my life of trying to be this person, that's the cost of it. And what the benefit is when I can let go of that, I can more relax into myself and not have to play this role. And I can be more present in front of whether it's people I work with, the person I love. And so we talk about leadership. And so whether, we have the Zen master. Why am I now? His name there.
The Zen master? Are you talking about Phil Jackson?
Phil Jackson, yes, the Zen
master.
My
breath before.
Yeah,
we're synced up, and maybe we should do that, like you and I in the audience. Sorry, man, I interrupted you.
So Phil Jackson, and we talked about Bukowski, but I like the whole Brooks analogy because
let's do it. Yeah.
Two wonderful, amazing leaders who did amazing things. Right, Herb Brooks, they mission accomplished. They did the thing that people thought couldn't be done. 1980, beating the mighty Russians. This ragtag group of kids.
Undefeatable.
Gold medal. Beat the Russians and then beat Sweden or Finland in the gold medal game. And then and then Phil Jackson, the number of titles. But it was the difference of Herb Brooks. His leadership style was, I have to crack the whip. I have to be the hard ass and push these kids, but I can't let them in. There's no joy in it. Even when they defeated the Russians, jubilation. He went straight into the locker room and couldn't be out there in the moment to share that with his teammates. And his teammates said, I wish he would have let us in. I wish we could have seen the man instead of that prick, that hard ass. And then you have Phil Jackson, who, yes, got his men to compete and perform, but with heart.
Yeah.
There was joy in it, in the Mission Impossible.
And there was authenticity also. So, like, let me zoom back a second. So Patton did this. So Patton wasn't a hard ass. That was a character that he played because that's what he thought that the generalship required. Herb Brooks did the same thing. These kids are a rivalry outside of the Olympics. Let me be such a prick that they hate me and love each other. I'll play that role.
Right.
There's a martyr in that.
Yeah.
Right. I will sacrifice my enjoyment for your success. I did that for a long time in my life. Right. Phil Jackson, on the other hand, like look who Phil Jackson had to lead. It was Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan doesn't fuck around. Like, you have to earn his respect for him to listen to you. Right.
Right.
He had Dennis Rodman. Dennis Rodman 100% was playing a character. It's outrageous. He watched more tape than anybody on that team. There were team meetings he got to miss because he already did the work without having been asked. And he showed up he actually changed the way the game was played, and Phil Jackson was smart enough to allow him to be this character. They couldn't have done it without Dennis Rodman.
Yeah, I mean, Dennis Rodman, a lot of people realize how smart he was and how a student of the game that he really was outside of the character he was playing.
He was Bukowski in that.
Yeah, he was. He was.
He had some habits that he wasn't going to give up.
Right, and he had zero fucks like Bukowski did about how he was going to live his life through his lens. And he was being authentic to himself. He wasn't trying to play people could say he was playing a character, but he was just being who he was.
Artistic expression of himself.
Yeah.
So you just mentioned Charles Bukowski, and he has one of my favorite lines: to live life so outrageously that death shall tremble to take us. It's pretty pirate. Who was the man that said that? Do you know that, right?
The man that said,
yeah, Charles Bukowski. Who was he? When I asked, hey Charles, who are you? What would you tell me?
well, what would I say or what would he say?
What would you say about? But I'm interested in your perspective here.
God, Charles Bukowski was unapologetic how he did his art. His art was how he lived, and then he wrote
Drunkard,
about his
he frequented the brothels, right?
tenant houses he lived in, living of like kind of the vagabond life. He was from one place to another, little odd jobs, but he wasn't going to change that because he wanted to continue doing his art, and he didn't want to get a job which he
Yeah,
felt would
job.
have been
He was
like
postman.
prison to him.
He was a postman, worked for the post office,
Right.
and he was given the opportunity to be a writer. And he's like, I'm either going to die by boredom or I'm going to starve to death as a writer. I guess I'll starve.
I'll take door number 2. Yeah, I
That's
guess
right.
I will starve. And he chose that, and he unapologetic for it. That was what he wanted to do. He didn't have any qualms about that, or he didn't want people like feeling sorry for him that, you could be doing better. That's how he chose to live his life, through his lens.
Yeah.
And so just like with Herb Brooks, the lens he saw it through was he had to be the villain in order to get the team to band together to be the best that they were. He couldn't get on their level. And then you have Phil Jackson, who's like, I'm going to do that, but I want to reach each man and who they are and see them for who they are and find the joy in this process, in this mission impossible, because it's like, at the end of the day, why not? Like, because you got to go through a lot of, performance wise, there are going to be days where you are pushing the boulder up the hill, but why not do it with a song in your heart than always, right? Because then eventually I'm going to get burned out. And
Arnold did a great job of that. He's training for Mr. Universe. Every single rep was him on stage. This rep gets me there. This, right?
Yeah.
And there was such a joy, and his body actually responded to that. And so there's a shortcut here, maybe. It's not a shortcut. It's just it's another dimension. You and I watched this celebrity trainer. And he's like, I watched the mechanics of what they're doing, but what the mechanics of what they're doing isn't getting the results. It doesn't make sense. And he's like, it must be at an identity level. This Hollywood actress believes this is getting me the results that I want. And so it is. Herb Brooks was like, we're going to be the best conditioned skaters on the ice, and you're going to hate me, and so you're going to come together. Okay, got it. Right? That was at the identity level. Right? Their identity were the plumbers and the electricians' kids.
Yeah.
And the Russian team were professional athletes. They skirted the rules. They were students and soldiers, but they were subsidized by the Russian government in a time when you needed to be an amateur athlete in order to play on this Olympic team. Right? So that was the deck stacked against them. And when they were spinning circles around them in the final part of that Olympic match, the Russians forgot joy. They were soldiers playing for Russia. It was their job. It wasn't fun.
No, there wasn't joy in it. And they got in the paradox about how free, like that's why Russia was so much better, is their style of play. They went outside the box. But the paradox of how they were then towards the end, when things weren't going their way, they got so rigid that they couldn't counteract what was happening to them because they weren't finding the joy. They were so, the pressure of it, like we're the mighty Russians, and what is the motherland going to think of us if we lose to this team? And they got so tight that they forgot the joy of the game, and the United States outjoyed them in a way. In here. They got in here. Yes, they had to use this, but they got these two in line.
Exactly. This is why our Flow State Saturdays are such a big deal. Mm-hmm. You have access to flow right now. And sometimes it starts with fear and like feeling uncomfortable, going anyway. So the level of my discomfort is equal to my level of exhilaration. Right. So me getting off the couch is not going to be an exhilaration on that, because that's just what's next. Right.
Yeah.
But when I get off the couch tonight and I go do my 65-pound sandbag workout, do as many reps as I can from floor, throwing the sandbag to the ceiling, there's satisfaction in that because there's a challenge to it. And the feeling afterwards, like, wow, I went for it, you know?
It's, I love that. Yeah. The simple things in life, that little thing that I can push myself and find the joy in it, and also punching the clock at the same time. It can be both.
It can be
It
both.
doesn't have to just be one. Because I find well, I've been unpacking what this authenticity game, and how do I be a better person, a better leader in my life for myself and with other people, is can I find, even in the hard stuff, is the joy in it, the playfulness, the creativeness, the imagination in it. So it doesn't all have, because anything, if it's too much of anything, again, is eventually it's not going to work. Can I straddle the middle, riding the middle of the snake? Because if I go one way too far left or right, I'm going to get bit. Can I straddle the middle?
It's a reason why the Shaolin monks are after peace and not joy.
Yeah, because peace, because people talk happiness. Well, like motivation. Well, that's, to me, is fleeting. Yeah. I need something that's sustainable, because the highs and the ebbs and flows of life, I'm going to have times where I might get knocked down in life. Something happens.
As we talked yesterday, what an honor. What an honor to be knocked down in battle.
Right, because it's how then, if I'm being more present and more authentic, I can have more capacity. We talk on the physical level, the mental level. So as a leader, as a performer in my life, is can I build more capacity in me so that I can handle that challenge, that hero's journey of this uncertainty, no matter what it is. And yes, what an honor, because I get an opportunity to find out more about myself with this challenge in front of me, and look at that challenge as, oh, it's not my villain, it's my teacher. And to not get stuck in my little victim story. We talk, like, because they're boring, especially boring. when I hear myself, it's like, oh God, I don't want to hear that.
I don't want to get the ice bath.
So, and why do we love all the wonderful movies like Star Wars? It's that unsung hero, that unassuming man or woman that steps into something that they're like, I don't want to do this. Can I do this? Am I gonna?
I don't want to do this.
Right, I don't want to do this.
Don't pick me.
Right, pick my brother, pick my sister. Brother. They're more talented. No, like no.
You.
I pick you.
And that's it. Am I picking myself with the glory and the warts, the things that I love, the things that I can't fucking stand? Can I love myself completely? And the instant I can love all of it, right? Like, imagine a character in a video game. I get some strengths, I get some weaknesses, and the challenges are here. Like, that's a really interesting movie to play in. Because if I had all the power, like, it's like, you and I were playing Argentina in soccer, and Argentina's like, we're going to take a water break. Great. You do that for the whole second half? Uh-huh. Cool. We scored 65 goals. Who gives a shit? It's not interesting. There's no tension in it.
Right. Yeah. What's a better story? Like the books we love, the movies, is it if the story starts here and then the story has the same arc from beginning to end, there's no challenge, there's no friction. It's like the person doesn't change. Like that's not a real interesting story. So I start here and then I come out the other end a completely different changed person because of all the experiences, the journey in between, that the outcome was unknown. I hit a lot of turbulence. I wanted to quit. I was terrified. I was scared.
Yep.
But I did it anyways. I had the valor, the courage to say, I'm going to still keep moving forward. That's a much more interesting story, right? What makes a great book, a movie, is the person starts here and then at the end they become a different person.
So the billion-dollar question is, who am I? Who am I? And the chapter summary right now is, well, who am I remembering right now? So I get to be a storyteller in this, and how powerful these mythos are. I get to make up the meaning, right? And you and I love the George Michael line. Let's make these lies. All I have to do is take these lies and make them true. Yeah, yeah, right. And so I go to Tony Robbins. Like, he didn't have Thanksgiving dinner, and somebody from the church came to like give his dad food, and he couldn't accept it, couldn't take it in. And you guys identify with not being able to take in love and compassion, and right, for many years I have to do this myself. Okay, got it. So Tony Robbins worked with guys from the United Nations, and they did 100 billion meals. Is that true? That's a lot. Yes. So his goal started out as $1 billion. And why was that meaningful for him? Because he went without. Here's a guy that grew up, right? Terrible. From the looking forward, it's a terrible existence, right? But he changed the meaning of like, all right, cool. So I'm a janitor. He was listening to books on tape, like literally books on like not Audible. Before that,
yeah, because they didn't have Audible back then,
right? And so the Incubus, if I hadn't made me, I'd be paper mache. And so once again, I'm back to like, if it feels hard right now, good. That's Jocko Willink, right? He had the whole thing on that. What an honor. Like, imagine the president of the United States or whoever you revere is like, I need you to do this thing, and it's mission impossible. Right. Like, no, sir, I'm not the guy. What an honor. Wow, you trust me with that? And for me, metaphysically, it's like my soul was like, you're going to come to Earth. You're going to have these handful of mission impossible moments, and you're going to like the man you become a lot. And I wouldn't have come here without like, I'm triumphant. Why else would I leave heaven? Oh, to make heaven on earth now with 300 other leaders as we remember together.
And to choose the story I want to be in is, I've learned, like tabula rasa. If I don't like the scene I'm in, start blank page, because it's really with like improv, or anything. It's like, or I'm going down a path. Oh, I don't like this. It's not working. There's no one saying I got to keep banging my head against the wall and keep going that path, because I'm like, well, this is the path I chosen. Like, oh, I can stop and I can get data from that saying, okay, I'm not a failure. Failures is data. It's like, oh, what can I do differently now to pivot?
A failure, not you're a failure.
Right. Not I'm a failure, but okay, this thing that I was doing was not working. It was a failure, but I'm not a failure. But it's data for me to say what worked, what didn't. Okay, don't throw the baby out the bathwater. I'm going to take what worked and keep building upon that. And the better I can get at that in life, in this mission impossible, the sweeter the victory is. Like, again, the 1980 hockey team, it was mission impossible. No one thought that they could do it. But
they were all the way in the back of the pain cave.
And that's why we love these stories. All of like movie, it's like that victory at the end. Come in. I have people coming in this live show. Come in.
Right on, man.
And it just makes that much sweeter when I allow myself to go through those hard things to do what I need to do.
Right.
Oh, hi. You call for no heat?
Yes.
No heat. There's no heat where Anthony is, and that's getting fixed right now.
Yeah. So
so we get to make up the meaning, right? So if I'm in the middle of the belly of the crux of the story, and it's hard. And man, if I can find some gratitude and some valor of like, man, I've been entrusted to see this through, it changes everything.
Yeah.
And if this resonates, Anthony leads men in this particular transformation. So do I.
Yeah, I want to say like what Brian and I conversing, talking. I love this because sitting by the campfire, as we used to do back in the day, and like men's work. Like, it's important for me to be amongst other men so they can be the mirror for me amongst all my many blind spots, but because their story is my story is their story. And it's just so important to commune with other men about to help lift one another up and to learn as opposed to chopping each other down, so to speak. So that's why these conversations are so important.
Yeah, we wanted to do this because I have this with a couple of my other friends too. We're like, that should have been a podcast. So we got the technology now. Happy to make anything you want. So if these topics resonate for you, let us know that and declare what's ever true for you and being your authentic self, not somebody else. You, right? You came to Earth to sing your song at great sacrifice to 4,000 ancestors for you to be here now. This morning I was thinking about the cows that I've eaten as nutrients to get here. Like I owe it to the cows to like do something with those calories. This is part of that answer. How do we share what we're learning now? And Alex Hermosi said something that it was triggering. And he's like, men don't get credit for the work, only the result. And I don't think that's true. I think if we highlight working through this stuff together, the sandpaper, the irritant and the oyster making the pearl, there's beauty, the working of the art. So I'm much more a fan of Stephen Pressfield. He was doing that alone, driving his truck, digging out his typewriter, those types of things.
Yeah.
And maybe you need that, alone in the cabin doing the thing.
I think there's a time and place for that to have some refueling alone to reflect. Yes. But the balance of finding others to commune with, and because no one ever completely does it alone, there's always help along the way. I can't do everything alone. I can't outthink whatever my issues are, the challenges in front of me.
That's such a critical thing you just said. You can't outthink it.
Right. Can't outthink it.
It's only 10% of the equation. What this is experiencing, what the felt sensation. This is why it's so important to get below the chin.
Yeah.
Like, I was working with this guy, we'll call him Ben. And he's like, man, this stuff's woo-woo. Really? Like, did you ever not trust your gut? Yeah. Yeah. Ben, what happened? Oh, this guy stole $17 million from me, and I knew it. Okay. Why don't I listen?
Right.
But, man, if I can't hear it because I'm so triggered, God, what if I just came around the campfire with other men and give a shit about my success?
Right. That had my back.
Have my back so much that I love you, and that story's bullshit. Right. I'm not entertaining that for you.
And also, it's not just I have your back, but I'm also going to call you out on your bullshit.
Call you up. Yep.
I'm going to call you up or call you out. I'm not going to put you down, but I'm going to hold your feet to the fire, just like I want you, Brian, or any other man to hold my feet to the fire if they see me not being accountable.
Yeah. Yep. My language sucks. I'm playing small. I'm letting my victim story get the better of me. My little whiny bitch voice is winning. Hey, man, that's not who you are. And it's okay to forget. It's part of the story.
Right. I forget. It's like working out. I got to put in the reps. Just because I do a course or sit and circle for a year, I got it all. I read all these books. I know it all now. So my next relationship, I got it. It's and then you find out real quick when you get in relation with a real person of how much do I really know? I got to actually put in the reps. I got to be in relation with other people to be the mirror to okay, can I now integrate the things that I'm learning, but not just from my head, logically. It's now can I put it in here?
Thank God for the triggers. I don't know jack shit until the triggers happen. Homeostasis, it's easy, man. I'm just hanging out. I got that. I'm gonna hit my workout later. I'm gonna do my YouTube video. That's great. And it's hey, there's been a boundary that's crossed, and now I'm oh fuck. I hate those conversations. I hate them. And I need them. Right? It's the work that I get to do. Right? So if I was a test pilot, we take off. That's easy. We're just cruising along. I'm not test piloting. That plane wants to fly. It's not until I'm in a flat spin that I actually become a good pilot. So now when the trigger traumas come up, you're oh, good, I'm actually flying. I'm learning how to be a better aviator, or whatever your metaphor is. Warrior, king, lover, magician, pirate, poet, whoever you are.
Yeah, it's the grist through the mill that I get to test myself of
What an honor.
how am I going to respond or react in this moment.
What an honor.
Yeah.
I've been entrusted with this. It's hard. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what's harder? Not doing it. I don't get to get away from the hard or uncomfortable or the unknown. I'm going to do that on my terms, though.
We said
And
the other day,
action on the uncomfortable and like, all right, got it. This is like a cosmic commission of what I need to be doing. Roger that, Lord, Father, Mother, whoever I pray to. It's like the faster I take action on it, the more synchronicity and juice is in it. The more I delay, the more I confuse, the more the archons and the agents of doubt have a chance to take over.
Yeah, and it's the honesty with love of it. When I get into a moment in my victim story, it's like, don't wish life was easier. Wish I was better, but better with,
ladies and gentlemen.
with grace and love. Not like, oh, I'm such an idiot. Oh, it's like, no. It's like, can I allow space and grace? Like, how can I be better? Because life is just going to keep moving on.
How can I enjoy the time on the mat? Like I just got choked out. I did it again. Oh man.
Right, yeah. Oh, I got tripped up.
I forgot again. Oh wait, that's actually the cosmic giggle and the way this divine comedy our lives are. It's supposed to be fun and a mystery and a roller coaster and a fun house and show and tell and archaeology. All one. Whatever, we get to make it up. You get to make it the meaning.
Yeah, we're all on that stage, right? All the life's stage is old Billy Shakespeare, and we're all playing our own little role out there. And how can I make this time on this planet like more joyful, more present? So whatever it is that's in front of me, I can find more meaning in it, as opposed to getting stuck in my story all the time, which again is boring.
You know what's boring too? To do or not to do. That's the Billy Shakespeare quote, right?
Yeah, to do or not to do.
No, it's not. It's to be or not to be.
To be.
But if I put the doing before the being, it doesn't work. And what Billy Shakespeare is what Billy Shakespeare is actually inviting us to remember, especially as men. Women are a little closer to divinity by default. We have to earn it. We have to remember it. The deck is kind of stacked against us. Mm-hmm. To be or not to be is like, am I operating in union with creation? Am I the creator? Working through me, with me, as me, right? Or do I choose to forget? To be or not to be. That's where it starts. Who am I?
Yeah, right. To not be, so I get stuck in my story, in the victim story, or to be. I can rise above it and choose a different story.
Right, and the different story, the different perspective.
Yeah.
Perspective, not perception. This feels hard, arduous, never-ending. Maybe this works out, right? That's a perception. What the perspective of, no, I came here. I've read way too many stories. Heard way too many people with near-death experiences echo the similar things. I forgot that life was supposed to be fun. Send me back. I'm supposed to be enjoying this. I'm supposed to be enjoy.
And can I see the same thing I've always been banging my head against with new eyes, a different perspective, as you said.
That is a different perspective.
Right. So
the same thing with a different attitude.
Right.
The same thing with a gratitude lens. That becomes invincibility. Challenge, gratitude, invincible. Oh, wow. Now that old loop is over.
Yeah, I can get on a different groove and sing a different song.
Sing your song, Anthony Skyray, Mr. Aslan. That's what you came here to do. You came here to fuck shit up.
To be or not to be, that's who I be. Thank you.
Nice.
Yeah, no, this is, I mean, we can go on for hours on this, but we won't.
We're just getting started, getting warmed up. So if this resonated for you, comment, share this, please, so we can reach the men that really need this. Maybe it's you, maybe it's not. Maybe you have a brother or a father or, a man that's trying to do it on his own. You don't have to do that anymore. it is a solo journey, but we get to come by the campfire and like remember. So
yeah, we can go together.
Yep.
Yeah.
So that's all I got today. Brian Muka, your Freedom Sherpa, here live on school every morning. We rep this, and then Anthony, how can these fine men and some women find you, sir?
They can find me on LinkedIn, Anthony Skyrie, SCIRE, or anthonyskyrie.com is my older website, but they can find me that way or on Facebook.
Amazing.
Anyways, yeah.
Guys, thanks for listening.
Yeah. Thank you.
Anthony, 3, 2, 1. Fuck yeah, of course.
Yes.
Nice rep.